Okay, and now we're gonna get right into the workshop. So today we will be learning about the major stages of food production across history, discovering how the way we produce food increasingly contributes to anthropogenic climate change, which in turn threatens our modern agricultural systems. And then we will reflect on our growing disconnect with what is on our plate and what is required to get it there. So in the vast expanse of human history, our ancestors once roamed the earth as hunter-gatherers, relying intimately on the resources nature provided. For millennia, these nomadic peoples ventured across diverse landscapes, foraging for edible plants, hunting animals, and gathering other essential resources to sustain their communities. They were truly resilient, adapting to the ever-changing environments and utilizing their knowledge of the land to thrive. This way of life was not a mere choice, it was the fundamental essence of human existence for countless generations. From dense forests to arid deserts, hunter-gatherer cultures were found in every corner of the globe. Their lives were intricately woven with the rhythms of nature, and their survival depended on an intimate understanding of their diverse bioregions they inhabited. They developed a deep respect for the environment, recognizing the delicate balance between taking what they needed and preserving the resources for future generations. Thus, they lived in harmony with nature. Today, some nomadic communities continue to exist, reminding us of the resilient spirit of our ancestors and the deep-rooted connection between humanity and the natural world. So if you look on the screen here in the bottom right-hand corner, these are all of the nomadic communities that still exist today. So the Innu people, also known as the Innu Nation, are the indigenous peoples of the northeastern regions of Quebec and Labrador in Canada. Historically, they were nomadic hunter-gatherers relying on the rich resources of the boreal forest and tundra for their sustenance. The Innu way of life was deeply rooted in their profound understanding of the natural world, and their nomadic practices allowed them to establish a harmonious relationship with their environment. According to their website, their traditional nomadic lifestyle was characterized by seasonal movements across their ancestral territories. During the warmer months, they would follow the herds of caribou, setting up temporary camps and utilizing their hunting and gathering skills to procure food, hides, and other essential resources. This is not just a way of survival, it was the way of being, deeply intertwined with their cultural identity and spiritual beliefs. The Innu people respect the natural balance of their environment and understand the importance of sustainable practices to preserve the delicate ecosystems they depend on. Additionally, their nomadic lifestyle fosters a strong sense of community and cooperation, as families and clans work together to navigate the challenges of their ever-changing surroundings. Today, while the Innu people have faced significant challenges due to colonization and modernization, they continue to preserve and celebrate their cultural heritage. Their website provides valuable insights into their rich traditions, emphasizing the importance of their nomadic practices in shaping their unique way of life and their enduring connection to the land. So approximately 10,000 years ago, a profound shift occurred in human history with the development of agricultural farming. This transformative change marked the beginning of a new era, as humans transitioned from nomadic hunter-gatherer societies to settled agricultural communities. With the domestication of plants and animals, notably wheat, barley, and rice, and livestock such as goats, sheep, and cattle, humans gained control over their food sources. This newfound ability to cultivate crops and raise animals allowed families and larger groups to build permanent settlements, fundamentally altering the way societies were structured and how humans interacted with the environment. The process of domestication enabled humans to produce a stable and predictable food supply. So instead of relying on hunting and foraging, these communities will cultivate crops and raise animals in specific locations. The shift from nomadic lifestyle to settled communities brought about significant changes in our life and allowed for population growth and the development of specialized roles within communities, giving rise to artisans, traders, and leaders. The establishment of permanent settlements facilitated in the growth of villages, which then later became cities. So while people staying in one place could build more sophisticated and lasting structures, create permanent farming systems, and develop tools and techniques for agriculture. This revolution not only changed how we sourced our food, but also paved way for current advancements in technology, culture, and societal organization. It laid the foundation for the rise of civilizations and the development of complex societies and the flourishing of diverse cultures around the world. However, sustainable farming practices are essential for the future of our planet, so ensuring food security while preserving natural resources for generations to come. So one example, which is deeply rooted in Indigenous wisdom, is the Three Sisters method. So a sustainable agricultural practice that emphasizes harmony between humans and nature. So this technique, championed by Indigenous communities for centuries, involves the simultaneously cultivation of three essential crops: corn, beans, and squash. So at the heart of this method lies a profound understanding of ecological interdependence. So the corn, with its sturdy stalks, provides a natural support for the climbing beans. In turn, beans, through their root systems, fix nitrogen in the soil, which corn needs to thrive, enhancing its fertility. Meanwhile, sprawling squash plants act as living mulch, suppressing weed growth and retaining soil moisture. This synergistic relationship not only boosts crop yields, but also enriches the soil naturally and eliminating the need for chemical fertilizers. Beyond the practical benefits of the Three Sisters method, embodies the principles of sustainable agriculture. It encourages biodiversity, discourages monoculture, and minimizes the use of harmful chemicals. By preserving soil quality, preventing erosion, and conserving water, this method ensures that the land's long-term productivity. It also mirrors the deep respect Indigenous cultures have for the earth, emphasizing the importance of living in harmony with the environment. So currently, industrial agriculture, while intending to meet the demands of a growing population, it often relies on unsustainable farming practices that have far-reaching ecological and social consequences. So one practice is excessive tilling, which disrupts the soil structure, leading to erosion and loss of vital nutrients. Tilling also exposes soil to the elements, increasing the risk of degradation and desertification. The heavy use of chemical pesticides and herbicides in industrial agriculture, intended to control pests and weeds, not only harms humans' non-target species, but also contaminates soil, water, and air, posing a significant risk to human and environmental health. Factory farming, another hallmark of industrial agriculture, raises animals in crowded, confined spaces to maximize production efficiency. This method often leads to inhuman conditions for animals, with little regard for their well-being. These concentrated animal feeding operations produce immense amounts of waste, polluting nearby water bodies and emitting greenhouse gases, contributing significantly to climate change. Industrial agriculture tends to prioritize monoculture as well, where large expanses of land are dedicated to one single crop. While this can yield high outputs, it depletes the soil of essential nutrients, making it increasingly reliant on synthetic fertilizers. And if the field ends up infected, it can kill the entire crop. The production and use of these fertilizers as well contribute to greenhouse gas emissions and water pollution, which further exacerbate environmental problems. The over-reliance on fossil fuels in the industrial agriculture for machinery, transportation, and fertilizer production adds to their environmental footprint overall. So addressing these challenges requires a shift towards sustainable farming practices. Agroecology, regenerative agriculture, and organic farming emphasize techniques such as crop rotation, cover cropping, natural pest control, and soil conservation. These methods promote biodiversity, enhance soil fertility, and reduce the need for harmful chemicals. And it also supports local and small-scale farmers, promoting sustainable food choices and investing in agricultural research for eco-friendly practices can collectively contribute to building more sustainable and resilient food systems. So these industrial practices that we just discussed, particularly the widespread and use of intense irrigation, can significantly contribute to both drought and flooding of farmland, as highlighted in the photos above. So intense irrigation, which is a common practice, often leads to the depletion of groundwater and surface water resources. So when water is extracted from rivers, lakes, and aquifers at a rate faster than it can be naturally replenished, it disrupts the natural hydrological cycle, leading to lowered water tables and eventually drought conditions. The overextraction is exacerbated by high water demands of monoculture crops, which are often grown in industrial agriculture, leaving surrounding areas parched and prone to prolonged droughts. On the other hand, industrial agriculture can also contribute to flooding. So the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides can degrade the quality of the soil, making it less able to absorb water. And the removal of natural vegetation for large-scale farming reduces the land's natural ability to act as a sponge during heavy rains. So when rainwater hits compacted or barren soil, it runs off rapidly, causing erosion and overwhelming our drainage systems. This runoff water, laden with chemicals and sediments, can end up in rivers and streams, increasing risk of flood and also polluting our water sources. So the link between industrial agriculture and water-related issues underscores the importance of sustainable agricultural practices. Efficient water management techniques as well, like drip irrigation, rainwater harvesting, can help mitigate the impacts of industrial agriculture on our water sources. Cowspiracy and Seaspiracy, so the photos in the center here, are both documentaries that discuss the environmental consequences of modern food production practices, particularly in the realms of animal agriculture and fishing. So they serve as powerful reminders of the ignorance that often shrouds the sources of our food and the dangers of the disconnect between our daily sustenance and the impact it has on the planet. So Cowspiracy explores how livestock farming significantly contributes to deforestation, greenhouse gas emission, water pollution, and habitat destruction. This documentary essentially urges viewers to confront this ignorance overall and emphasize the crucial need for more sustainable and ethical food choices and just conscious shopping, like we discussed earlier. And then Seaspiracy, like Cowspiracy, discuss the same kind of elements, but with the seafood industry specifically. So both of these reveal the really dangerous disconnect between people and their food sources. Many consumers are unaware of the environmental toll exacted by the industrial food complex, and this ignorance perpetuates destructive practices leading to deforestation, loss of biodiversity, climate change, and the depletion of our ocean's resources. So the lack of awareness can have far-reaching consequences affecting not only our ecosystems, but also the very resources upon which our food security depends. So embracing local unprocessed foods and reconnecting with the sources of our food not only benefits personal health, but it also plays a pivotal role in preserving the environment and combating food waste. So consuming local fresh foods mean a higher intake of essential nutrients. Locally sourced foods are often harvested at their peak ripeness, ensuring maximal nutritional value. So they're not subjected to the preservatives and additives common in processed and packaged items, promoting a more natural and healthier diet. Additionally, local foods are less likely to be treated with harmful chemicals and pesticides, which can reduce humans' intake of toxins, making us healthier overall. Choosing local foods also significantly reduces the carbon footprint associated with the transportation of goods. So processed and packaged foods often travel really long distances, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. In contrast, supporting local farmers and producers cuts down on transportation-related pollution and can promote sustainable farming practices which preserve soil quality, promote biodiversity, and reduce the need for chemical inputs. The global food system is plagued by staggering levels of food waste. So processed and packaged foods, while convenient, contribute to the problem due to their shorter shelf life and the sheer volume of packaging waste that they generate. By opting for local foods, people can support more efficient and localized supply chains, which reduces the likelihood of food spoilage during long transportation, thereby decreasing food waste. Additionally, when consumers have a direct connection with their local farmers, they're often more mindful of their food usage, leading to decreased waste at the consumer level. Finally, emphasizing local unprocessed foods encourages sustainable agricultural practice such as crop rotation, agroforestry, and organic farming. As we talked about before, these techniques are beneficial to our environments, as mentioned, and support local farmers who employ these sustainable methods. In essence, recognizing the importance of local unprocessed food and reconnecting to our food and where it comes from not only nurtures our individual well-being, but also nurtures the health of our planet. By appreciating the origins of our food, we can foster a sustainable food culture that prioritizes health, reduces environmental impact, and combats the alarming issue of food waste, ultimately creating a healthier and more balanced world for generations to come. And here are just some resources in case some of you were interested in this topic. And with that, I will stop the recording and pass it over to Marinka.